lot of people when they decide to go on a fat loss diet, they tend to kind of go towards the extreme side right away, but without realizing that small changes actually yield to bigger results in the over the course of long term. So for today's episode, I would like to discuss five simple fat loss hacks that it is so simple that anybody can actually apply it on a daily basis without even like trying to diet. So number one tip is base your diet around more whole foods. So whole foods simply means foods that are close to its natural form. So for example, instead of eating a banana bread is not it's highly processed. So the whole foods form of banana bread is obviously the banana fruit. So another example is let's say corn chips. Corn chips, it's also highly processed. It's better to just eat the whole corn. At least you get some fiber, so it keeps you satiated for a longer time. So that's number one rule: eat more whole foods. Because whole foods in general, they're highly satiating compared to its processed form. Second one is base your your meat intake around leaner cuts of meat. So for example, if you're buying a ground beef, you can always opt for the 93.7 lean or 96.4 lean ground beef. They're both lean. So as long as you're using the same spices, the same sauce, just like the protocols and principles that I apply in my recipes at Fat Loss Cooking Channel. You check it out though. I have a YouTube channel also called the Fat Loss Cooking Channel, where I modified a lot of recipes there for a better calorie and macronutrient content. Check it out. So if you base your meats around leaner cuts of meat, you save a lot of calories without even trying. What else? When it comes to if you go to a supermarket, look for the cuts of meat with the loin at the end. It's pretty much the code that the meat you're buying is lean. So you look for tenderloin, sirloin. Those are like the leanest cuts of meat. The third tip is don't drink your calories. Okay, it's probably like the simplest dieting anybody can do without even trying. Because the thing about liquid calories, such as like soda, calorie containing energy drinks, we are ingesting calories, but the thing is our brain doesn't really once we ingest the liquid calories, such as let's say like a regular soda, once we ingest it, our gut hormones doesn't send signals to the brain that we actually ingested some calories. So our brain doesn't really compensate it through in energy form. So unlike food, when we eat food, our gut hormones send signals to the brain that hey, you ingested some calories, so burn off some energy. But on the other hand, liquid calories, when we ingest some liquid calories, it doesn't get processed the same way as like whole foods counterpart. Okay, fourth tip is instead of like going full blown like ketogenic diet or like extremely low carbs, as in eliminating carbohydrates in general, cut down on starchy carbohydrates first though. So what are these starchy carbohydrates? First one is rice, there's pasta, there's bread, what else? Anything that contains starch. So you can easily tell it. Pizza, those the dough on the pizza, that's also a starchy carbohydrates. So why we could easily cut down on starchy carbohydrates, because first of all, carbohydrates, among the four macronutrients, which is alcohol, protein, fats, and carbohydrates. Carbohydrates is not essential, but it doesn't mean that it won't be beneficial, because fruits and vegetables, they are loaded with a lot of vitamins and minerals. I'm not demonizing starchy carbohydrates, in general, but there is a proper time and place that we should ingest starchy carbohydrates, especially after doing like high intensity activities such as sprinting or lifting heavy weights. So because in that context, the starchy carbohydrates being a simple form of sugar, it efficiently refills muscular glycogen. But that's gonna be another topic for another day. So when we cut down on starchy carbohydrates, try to increase your protein intake, because that way our body will be producing more glucose from the protein through the process called gluconeogenesis. So it's pretty much just the process in the body where our body converts the protein into glucose. So the fifth tip that I can give you is, when you're eating a meal, especially at home, try to use a bowl instead of eating on a large plate, because it has a psychological reason why we tend to eat more food, more calories, when we're eating on a large plate or a large bowl, because we think that we're eating very little food, although in reality we're actually consuming more calories than we need. um, there you go. It's pretty very simple. You don't have to go extreme. This is especially effective for people who have a lot of weight to lose. Because one of the reasons why many dieters fail is because they're trying too hard. They're putting too much stress, too much pressure to themselves, that they give up to their diet without even sticking to it. Because simple lifestyle changes can yield to big results.